Hello, 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 hello. It's Thursday. And you know what that means? A new episode of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. I'm your host, Bernie Dean. And yeah, like I said, it's Thursday. Welcome to episode 19 of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Previous episodes can be found on YouTube, so visit the site, like, comment, and subscribe, and set your notification bells. So if you've checked in with me tonight, let me know who's here. Let me know. Say hi, say hello. Don't be shy, and let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. This is a talk show where we discuss sports, politics, current affairs, entertainment, gossip, news. If it's a trending topic, we'll discuss that as well. Participation will give you the opportunity to win the gift of the week, and the gift this week is Fight. I will tell you a little bit more about this further, and there had to be a change in the gift this week. I'll explain that as well. Anyways, there is a lot that we have to get through tonight, so I'm just going to jump right in and start with our entertainment news. So, our artist preview of the week, we'll start with Kenzik. He's a new and upcoming artist that's looking to release his debut album with the promotion of the lead single, Trust None. The song tackles oppositional views to my own ascension in music and generally in life, navigating through misguided notions and unclean judgmental eyes, the artist explained. The track is a single off of his forthcoming Confident album, which has 8 tracks and features an appearance from reggae artist Kez Namdi. The album is slated for an August 3rd release, so it was released earlier this week. Vice is an upcoming dancehall songwriter and artist and knows about the virtues of hard work. That is why he's beaming with pride as his inspirational single, What If, has emerged as a bona fide hit in the street dances and bars in and around his native Falmouth. It's a song about working hard and what you would have to do if you win or just drop into a load of cash. I think this is the song for the summer because with the pandemic ending, people are looking to hustle and create opportunities more than ever before. The song's already taken off in his native Falmouth and is doing great on radio and getting a lot of views on YouTube. Skilling Bang also has another new video out called Grade One. He had a song out last week. He's been doing a lot lately. This one is better than the last one I heard last week, in my opinion. So it's still not quite radio friendly, but it's got a nice bounce to it. Bounty Killer's a new video and song out called Electrified. The singles he's been releasing lately are very nice. Sounds like his album will be sickening. He's also hoping to be able to get back his US visa, so let's hope that works out for him so that he can start touring. Hey, Colleen, good night. How are you? Can you hear me clearly? Let me know if you can hear me. Recording artist Fantan Moja is today mourning the loss of his mother, who passed away on Monday at the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth from a prolonged illness. Fantan Moja, who declined to give his mother's name or her illness, told media that his mother meant the world to him and he has not been coping well with the news. I never really come out in the public and talk about it, but my mother sick right before me busting the music. She died at 67 years old, so she was really young when she got sick, and me just I give thanks. Said the bus came when it did. That's me could have help her, take care of her, pay her bills, them, get her medication, and them thing that he said. My mother did mean everything to me. Remember, I'm me sing Mama Hungry, And when you check the levels, she me did I sing the song for. In some ways, when me sing that song there, it's like me I said, me no want my mother to hungry again. When you pray that, you know how far the love go. I'm just glad she gets some of the nice things, them experience some good life and all of that before she passed off, he continued. The singer said he was in the process of putting together his next studio album when tragedy struck. His mission now is to pen a track that would honor his mother's memory. So condolences to Fantan Moja, and you can check out the other videos and albums on YouTube and Vivo. So in the sports arena, the Blue Jays, it seems like playing at home is good for them, as they've only lost one game since they started playing at home last weekend. So let's hope they keep it up, and so that they could move up in the standings, as they're presently 55-49. The TFC suffered their first loss under their new interim coach last Tuesday, losing 3-0 to Philadelphia. Also, they tied the match that they played last Saturday. So let's hope this loss is a blip on the radar and they get back to their winning ways. We're going to touch on the Raptors a bit, because there's a lot of things that's been happening with them. So our favorite Raptor, Kyle Lowry, he will not be a member of the team come next season. So it's come to the end of an era in the Raptors organization, as Mr. Toronto Kyle Lowry will be going to Miami. Free agency signings can be confirmed on Friday starting at 12. So the Raptors have not released anything as yet, but Kyle has already written his goodbyes and posted it on Twitter. It's a sign and trade deal, so we're not quite sure yet who we'll get for him, but we'll know tomorrow after 12 o'clock. So good luck to Kyle. Gary Trent also signed a 3-year deal with the Raptors. Aaron Baines has been waived by the Raptors. So the next few days, starting tomorrow at midday, is going to be interesting, because there's lots of movement that's going to be happening. Also, Masai Ujiri, the architect of the franchise's 2019 NBA championship team, has agreed to a significant new deal to become vice chairman and president of the Toronto Raptors. So you know what that means, eh? Masai go get enough more money. They said that the new contract that he has will see him in the stay in the city for many, about another 5 or 6 years to come. Plus his income will now go up to almost 10 million a year. So Masai's getting paid. Everybody, like during just after the season ended, everybody was claiming he was going to this team or he was going to that team and all of that stuff. But the man know where his heart is, and it's in the city of Toronto. He know where the money is coming from, and that's from the city of Toronto. And he knows where he will get the love. That's from Toronto. So he will continue as both the Raptors' top basketball business executive and a global philanthropist through his Giants of Africa initiatives. So big things are going for Masai. Big things. So if you just joined, say hi, say hello. Don't be shy. Let we know who's here. Colleen says, bye-bye, Kyle. We will sure miss him, but it's a business that it is. Money. Yes. Masai will be getting the money. He will be getting paid, but yeah, we will definitely miss Kyle. So I know, the first game back when he's the first time we meet Miami playing back again, it's going to be an interesting and emotional night for him and the team and the fans. So it should be interesting. So we're going to start with our news stories, and we're going to go to Oklahoma, Tulsa, to be specific. So an Oklahoma mother allegedly threw a baby shower for her pregnant 12-year-old daughter and the 24-year-old father of her child. In a case that has stunned both cops and social workers alike, Desiree Castaneda's arrest was announced Thursday by the Tulsa Police Department. According to cops, the baby's father, Juan Miranda Jara, 24, was arrested in the maternity ward on July 14th and charged with the rape of a minor. Miranda Jara told detectives he had been involved in a sexual relationship with an underage girl since last October, allegedly with the blessing of her mother. The investigation revealed that the victim's mother and family members were aware of the relationship between the victim and Miranda Jara. The family permitted the relationship, and there are photos of the family throwing a baby shower for the victim and the suspect. Castaneda has now been charged with child neglect and enabling child sex abuse. Daughter and newborn baby are both in childcare, and police say they're doing well. The 12-year-old's father is currently in prison serving a sentence for an unrelated rape. Detectives were tipped off by hospital personnel as the girl was about to deliver the baby girl. Miranda Jara was allegedly confused when cops showed up and told them how proud he was. They walked in just like any other couple would, excited to deliver their newborn. Apparently, they didn't think that they were doing anything wrong, and that there was anything wrong with the situation. The age of consent in Oklahoma is 16 years old. Investigators were still scratching their head as to why the girl was allowed to have a sexual relationship with a man twice her age, why her mom condoned the pregnancy, and why no one reported it to officials. I don't understand parents nowadays. Your 12-year-old daughter, Colleen says she's in love with a man twice her age, right? And why hide her face? She's adult. Now, I know they put that in the paper, and I'm like, girl, I take dick, girl pregnant. No point in hiding her face, but since they didn't put her name, I guess they think that they should hide their face. So, but yeah, the whole family agreed that it was okay for a 24-year-old was okay to be having sex with a 12-year-old and get the 12-year-old pregnant so that they could throw a baby shower for the 12-year-old. Like, me not understand. I don't understand it. And Colleen says a real idol jubby that the man wants. That's where they start playing. I'm in love with a man who is twice my age. So if you're just joined, check in, say hi, say hello, share the live, and let's have an interesting conversation this evening. So we're going to circle around to Jamaica. I know they'll soon have wedding bells very soon when them come out of prison. So we're going to Jamaica, and there's been quite a bit of shootings down there in a particular community this week. So the community of Hashburn off Brooks Level Road in Stony Hill was the scene of a brutal slaying of 3 young men yesterday afternoon. About noon, residents heard several explosions coming from Hashburn. The 3 bodies were seen lying in a yard on the lane. 2 of the deceased has been identified as Adea Ja Ali Laws, age 17, and Brandon Gussie Scarlett, age 20. The third man has only been identified by residents as TK. Laws was previously held and charged for illegal possession of a firearm. The shooting comes after Monday's murder of another Stony Hill resident, Dave Nooks, at a bar just meters away from where the men were killed yesterday. Head of the St. Andrew North Police Division, Senior Superintendent of Police Aaron Fletcher, says the triple murder is believed to be a reprisal for Nooks' killing. The deceased on Monday is an uncle of one of the players in a gang conflict involving 2 rival factions, the Nooks and the Dennis. We have reason to believe that the men today were targeted because they are believed to have been intimately involved in the killing of the man on Monday. Fletcher told the Weekend Star that the 3 men are aligned with the Denny gang, and Fletcher said the police in the area can be difficult. So them kill 1 man Monday, and because of that 1 man killing on Monday, 3 boy dead Tuesday. I don't know when the killing will stop, Hey, Carlene, how are you? Thanks for checking in. If you're just joining, say hi, say hello, drop a comment, share the live. So we're going to circle around to New Hampshire. And this story is a little bit weird, but we'll see how that goes. So for almost 3 decades, 81-year-old David Litstone has lived in the woods of New Hampshire along the Merrimack River in a small cabin adorned with solar panels. He has grown his own food, cut his own firewood, and tended to his cat and chickens, but his off-the-grid existence appears to be at risk. River Dave, as he's known by boaters and kayakers, is behind bars after being accused of squatting for 27 years on private property. As the owner of the land seeks to tear down the cabin, Litston has been jailed since July 15th on a civil contempt sanction. He faced a hearing Wednesday, so that was yesterday. He's just a really, really big caring guy and just chooses to live off the grid, said Jody Gideon, an avid kayaker who befriended Lidstone about 20 years ago. She and other supporters are trying to keep him in his cabin in Canterbury, including organizing a petition drive and working to collect money to cover property taxes. Okay, Gideon and other supporters came out to a town select board meeting on Monday. Board members said the town currently has no standing in the property dispute, but even if there were a way to allow Lidstone to stay, it would be an uphill battle. His home is in violation of local and state zoning and environmental regulations, and there is no access to a road. But since he's been locked up, the 86-year-old owner of the property doesn't want him on the property. I mean, it's 73 acres of property. So if the man stay upon one little part title, I'm not bother nobody. You would think that would be okay, but the 86-year-old owner don't want him on the land. And apparently, Dave has lived on the land for the last 27 years. But the owner, Leonard Giles, didn't even know Lidstone was there until 2015. So he lived on the land for like 22 years before anybody knew that, before the actual owner of the property knew that he was there. And the owner of the property found out because somebody from the town administration office told the owner that, Giles was living on the property. So they made the complaint, but the man decides him just no one live in a society and just want to go off by moon. I mean, you have 73 acres. Him can't live for one little piece side. But since Dave has been in jail, he says he's not going to do anything. He will sit there and rot until he rot or he goes to jail, goes home. But the only option to go home is for him to go elsewhere because they're not going to allow him to go back to that property. And there's 3 options for him to go home. 1, that he's been in jail for more than 30 days. 2, that the house that he has to go back to is no longer there, like if the house is gone. Or 3, that the owner of the property will allow him to go back. Well, since they've locked him up, somebody burned down the cabin. Somebody took his stuff out of it and burned down the cabin. So they're not quite sure yet who did it. Apparently the police are going to be investigating as to how or why it was burnt down. But I mean, it's not hard to figure out that somebody, possibly some member of the family, didn't want him back there and decided to burn down the cabin so that he doesn't have anywhere to live. But the man's been living off the land, off the grid. I mean, he's a squatter, yes, and as a squatter, it's illegal for him to live there, but it's 73 acres. 73 acres. So there's going to be an investigation to see more, to see what's, how the fire was started and all of that stuff. So I don't know what's going to come out of that. We'll see. So we're going to circle around to Arkansas, and Hunter Britton, age 17, is a guy in the middle in the blue shirt. And he was holding a blue jug of antifreeze when he was shot 3 times by a Lonoke County Sheriff's deputy in June. Hunter Britton dreamed of a career in professional racing growing up in McRae, Arkansas, a couple of hours south of the Ozark Mountains. He loved riding and working on motorcycles, 4-wheelers, and cars. Anything that had wheels on it, he was pushing it to the limits, says his uncle Jesse Britton, 40. He wanted to be a NASCAR driver. But first, Hunter 817 was diligent about understanding how machines work, doing odd jobs as the mechanic, and fixing up anything that moved. There wasn't anything that Hunter couldn't do, Jesse recalled. It wasn't unusual then when Hunter and two friends worked through the night to fix a truck transmission that was giving him problems. At about 3 a.m. on June 23rd, he and one of his friends, also a minor, were test driving a car they'd worked on when a Lonoke County Sheriff deputy pulled them over. What unfolded next was an all too familiar headline. An unarmed young man was shot and killed by police. While the police have revealed few details about what happened, there's no body cam footage. Jesse says Hunter's friend told him the truck wasn't shifting properly when they pulled over. The truck was going to roll when Hunter put it in park, so he got out of the truck to throw a jug of antifreeze under the tire to keep it from rolling into the cop car, Jesse said. He was never announced to stop, to drop the jug, anything. He was just immediately shot 3 times. Okay, welcome to Driving While Black, or Walking While Black, or Running While Black, because that's what Black people's had to go through are still going through. So the police first statement regarding the shooting advised against any rush to second guess the actions of deputies in potentially dangerous situations. The officer who shot Britain, Sergeant Michael Davis, was fired for not having his body cam on during the shooting. So he wasn't fired for the shooting. He was fired because he didn't have his body cam on. So this family has now hired Benjamin Crump, who is the famous attorney that represents most Black families where their kills, where they have family members killed. So Philandra Castile, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Benjamin Crump has represented those families, and he will be representing this family as well. So should be interesting to see what happens from there and see how that turns out. So we're going to circle around to Florida. If you're just joining, say hi, say hello, drop a comment, let me know that you're watching, and share the live. So a little boy is getting a second chance after enduring unimaginable heartbreak, all thanks to the detective who responded to the call on the night his world changed forever. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Detective Mike Blair and his wife Danielle said they knew they had to take in Ronnie O'Neill IV and give him a new life after his traumatic experience in 2018. He knows he has a story that has been written for him, Blair, a father of 5, said in the video, but he also knows he doesn't want to be defined by that story. According to the Sheriff's Department, Ronnie was just 8 years old when his mother and 9-year-old sister were brutally murdered by his dad, Ronnie O'Neill III. So Mike Blair was a detective who responded to the crime scene where he discovered that little Ronnie had also been attacked and was stabbed and lit on fire by his father. Ronnie O'Neill III was sentenced to 3 life terms plus 60 years in prison for the murders. We were told that there was a child being medevaced to Tampa General, but he was not expected to live. So Ronnie stayed in the hospital for quite a while. The detective kept visiting him, and him and his wife and family kept visiting him, making sure that he was okay. When it was time come for Ronnie to be released for a child, he didn't have anywhere else to go, and they were approached with regards to being a foster parent for the child. The detective talked it over with his wife. She agreed, and that's where Ronnie is now. But so, I mean, he's going to be scarred for life because of what he went through. But I would want to change his name so that at least that part he doesn't have to be constantly connected to his biological father who tried to kill him. So I would A name change would have been the next step for me. He would not still be named Ronnie O'Neill the fourth. But if you've just joined, I can see a couple of people have joined. Say hi, say hello. I am going to circle to Baltimore right now. And this was a little bit bizarre. I'm not quite sure what she was thinking or why she did the things that she did, but let's read on. So, for about a year, a Baltimore woman allegedly drove a car with a gruesome secret: the dead body of her 7-year-old niece stashed in a suitcase in the trunk. Then in May, she allegedly cracked the trunk's lid to dump the body of her 5-year-old nephew beside it. It wasn't until months later that police discovered the decomposing bodies of siblings Jocelyn Marie James Johnson and Larry Darnell O'Neill. The police said that they're grieving over the unspeakable deaths after discovering the kid's body when they pulled 33-year-old Nicole Johnson over in a traffic stop late last Wednesday. Police say the brother and sister were weighing just 21 pounds and 18 pounds respectively, were likely malnourished before their death. Their fragile bodies were brought to the office of the chief medical examiner to determine a cause of death. Johnson was charged Friday in connection with neglect and abuse that caused the deaths. So apparently, Johnson's sister Deshelle had asked her to look after the kids in 2019 when Deshelle was unable to take care of them. Johnson said she had grown angry with Jocelyn more than a year ago, hitting her niece several times, resulting in the girl hitting her head. Johnson allegedly told police she put her niece's body in a suitcase in her car in May 2020, where it has remained ever since. She allegedly told police that Larry's body was put in a bag alongside Jocelyn's a year later, without providing details about how or when he died. Johnson was charged with multiple counts of neglect and child abuse charges, as well as failing to report the deaths to authorities and unauthorized disposal of their bodies. So how were these kids not reported missing by the mother? Because they found these kids in the trunk of the car because she got pulled over because her license plate sticker was invalid. So that's why she got pulled over. And then when she got pulled over, they found out that her registration wasn't good and she was driving without a license. The officer told Johnson that the car would be towed and she would have 5 days to come and pick up the car. She told the officer that it wouldn't matter because she won't be here in 5 days. She said to them, "Y'all going to see me on the news making my big debut." The officers then smelled the decomposing bodies while preparing the car to be towed. Johnson then tried to run away from the scene when the cops opened the trunk and uncovered the first body in a suitcase before discovering the second one in the plastic bag. I don't understand how she managed a drive with that scent in the car. Because apparently dead body not smell good. I've never smelled one, but apparently dead body not smell good. And the other day, me drive with some onion in my car and trust. Me drive with some cut up onion in my car one day, and me did put that in the car trunk. And the whole of my car smell up. So you can imagine you drive with a dead body all in the summertime when the heat ripe up in the car trunk, and my girl still a drive with that dead body smell in the car. and she just reported nothing. And apparently the sister whose kid she was looking after said that after a while she couldn't find her, so that's why she didn't know what happened to the kids. But I mean, how is it that they couldn't find her, they weren't looking for the kids or nothing? Nah, man. No, that don't make sense at all. That don't make sense at all. Some serious investigation needs to be going on here so that people can know what's happening. But we're going to take to the friendly skies of the USA right now. And there's been a lot of issues lately with passengers and flight attendants getting into tiffs, or passengers getting into tiffs with other passengers and stuff. So this particular one, this passenger on Frontier flight had to be taped up to his seat after he allegedly groped two of the attendants and punched a third in the face. So apparently he was being unruly. They tried to calm him down. He wouldn't calm down. He squeezed a couple of the ladies of the flight attendant's breasts. He punched another flight attendant, and they decided that they were going to tape him to the seat. So that's what they did. So now there's an investigation, and ironically, the two flight attendants may lose their job because of what they did, because 22-year-old Maxwell Berry decided to be an ass. So he was arrested when the flight landed in Miami and is also now facing 3 counts of battery. Not good at all. Not good at all. So let's see who else here is joining me. Hey, Vinny T. Hey, Wayne Williams. Who else is joined? Say hi, say hello, drop a comment. Let me know if you have a comment regarding any of the stories that I've read so far. Feel free to chime in on them. So we're going to come back to Canada, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have been given a new federal holiday. So starting September 30th, 2021, it will be the first time that that particular holiday is implemented, and it's a federal holiday, so it doesn't really apply to a lot of provincially led businesses and small businesses. But banks and post office and all of those federal businesses will be closed on that day. So September 30th, 2021. Bill C-5 is an act to amend various pieces of legislation making September 30 every year a federal statutory holiday called the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. The new law commemorates the history and lasting effects of Canada's residential school system and honors Indigenous survivors and their families and communities. The holiday was one of the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It applies to all federally regulated public and private workplaces, including banks, airports, Canada Post, broadcasting, and telecommunications. So September 30, 2021 will be the first time that we will have that particular holiday. So something to look forward to between Labor Day and Thanksgiving. Okay. So we're going to circle to Alberta, and RCMP in Alberta says a 26-year-old tree planter has died after being attacked by a bear. Spokesperson Corporal Troy Savinkov says police were called on Saturday afternoon about the attack, which he says happened in a remote location northwest of Swan Hills. Savinkov says the woman was flown by a private helicopter to the airport in Swan Hills, where they were met by EMS, but she did not survive. So they're saying that the lady was probably working in an area when the adult black bear attack, and she didn't survive the attack. That's sad. There's a lot of bears and stuff out in Alberta in those areas, in the forests and stuff. So yeah, apparently the officers have located 3 black bears near the site of the attack and are awaiting DNA results to confirm if one of them is responsible. So they've not released the name of the person that died, as the family doesn't want the name to be released. So sad for her, but hey. Okay, so we're going to circle to New York right now, and the associate warden at the federal jail in New York City has been charged with killing her husband after she shot him in the face in their New Jersey home. Antonia Ashford is the associate warden at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, which houses British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell. Ashford, 44, was charged with murder and weapons possession after police found her husband dead in their Jackson Township home around 2:15 a.m. on Monday. Prosecutors allege Ashford pulled out a gun, pointed it at her husband, and then shot him in the face. Officers discovered Roderick Ashford lying unresponsive on the floor of their home, where he was pronounced dead. The Metropolitan Detention Center has been under fire from federal judges in New York over the conditions that inmates face there. Apparently, the husband was also a Bureau of Prisons employee, but he worked in New Jersey. I wonder what could have caused that to escalate to that level where she just take up the gun and shoot him. So now, instead of being a warden at the prisoner, she'll be a prisoner in the prison. Not a nice way to go at all. Not a nice way to go at all. So we're going to come back into Ontario. Colleen says the officers better lock up all 3 beers. Well, you never know. They could be charged with murder. You just never know. Never know. So a pair of travelers from the USA were fined $20,000 each for fake vaccination documents. So while Canada eased requirements on July 5th for fully vaccinated Canadians and foreign nationals with an exemption to enter the country, those foreign nationals must provide proof and upload their proof of vaccination documents to the ArriveCan app before entry. So 2 travelers who arrived in Toronto from the USA were fined because their proof of vaccination documents were fake, and they also lied about their pre-departure tests. Also, the travelers did not comply with requirements to stay at a government-authorized hotel or to get tested upon arrival. The agency says that the travelers arrived last week and have been handed 4 fines, totaling $19,720 each. People them now play with them things. Now play with them things at all. You either have your proper docs, or you don't come in the country, or you get fined. And in this case, those 2 people, if it's a couple, that's $40,000 because it's $20,000 each. That's a damn expensive trip. And they're saying that for violating quarantine or isolation instructions when entering Canada, it could lead to a $5,000 a day fine. So you could be fined $5,000 each day for non-compliance. Or you could also get 6 months in prison or $750,000 in fine. People if not play with them things. Either do what them say if you do, or you have to spend money. So we're gonna stay until we're gonna cover COVID a little bit. So we're still in step 3. They haven't done anything about us going into step 4. So far, the COVID numbers are still low. The last couple of days they've been higher than normal. They were over 200 per day the last couple of days, with a few deaths. But a few more places of entertainment are opening. The ROM will be opening, I think, this weekend. I know the Van Gogh, I think they opened last weekend because the Van Gogh attraction was open, the virtual Van Gogh. And I know Mervish Theaters, I think they're opening this weekend, so you can start going to plays shortly as well. So there was a report yesterday that students will be returned to class full-time in September, with remote option continuing to be remote learning continuing to be an option. So apparently emails will be sent out to the parents, and if the parents don't answer, then the kids will be assumed to be going to school, and the parents cannot change that until February. So the parents will have the option of either sending their kids to school or keeping them at home. But they won't have a hybrid option. It's either go to school or stay home and learn virtual learning. Either one that you pick, you cannot change that until February next year. All right. Kids under 12 will still not be vaccinated. And all kids from grade 1 to grade 12 will be required to wear a mask in school, in the hallways, during classes, as well as on school vehicles and stuff. They're not required to wear masks when they're outdoors, and kindergarten children are not required to wear them as well. School will be open 5 days a week. So we'll see how that goes, how they'll do it, especially for the older kids, the high school kids and stuff, the ESL kids and all of that, how they're going to be making that work. But I'm noticing that there's a lot of companies now that are requiring people to be vaccinated in order to be able to work. New York City announced earlier this week that they will require vaccines for restaurants and gyms. And they will require proof of vaccination for indoor activities. Microsoft said employees will need to show proof of vaccination before they can enter any U.S. office, and they won't be fully reopened until October. So I know there's been several companies that said you're either vaccinated or you're going to have to get tested weekly. I know China is shutting down Wuhan again, the place where it all started, because the Delta variant is now rampant over there. So they've suspended flights, trains, they've canceled down professional basketball league games. They're shutting down that province again because the Delta variant is over there and the numbers are going up. So they don't want it to be a big outbreak, so they're trying to nip it in the bud quickly. And the U.S. numbers have gone up like 4 or 5 times what it was. So a month ago, in the U.S., the daily cases were 13,611 cases per day. In 1 month, it's gone up to 90,576 cases per day, with most of the people getting sick or dying are those who are unvaccinated. So these are the numbers that they're putting out, and they're saying that's what happened. But to go from 13,000 to 90,000 in 1 month, that's a lot. That is a lot. So we're just going to run on the corona numbers or weekly numbers. So Canada, 1.44 million tested, 1.4 million recovered, 26,636 deaths. Worldwide, it's 201 million tested, 195 million plus recovered, and 4.26 million have died. Ontario, 551,000 have been tested, 540,000 have recovered, 9,374 have died. And in Jamaica, 53,639 have been tested, 47,101 has recovered, and 1,207 have died. My voice is going. It's been a busy day. Sorry, my throat was dry, my voice was going off, so had to take a sip. Anyways, we're staying in Ontario, and Angela Bailey, one of her sprint record holders from the 1980s and early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, has died. She was a Canadian women's record holder in the 100-meter sprint and an Olympic 4x100-meter relay silver medal winner. She was battling cancer for some time, and she died down from complications from the cancer. She was 59 years old. She is still Canada's fastest 100-meter woman. She set that record in 1987 at 10.98 seconds, and to date, that record has not been broken. She was running back in the time when Angela Taylor-Izajenko and Ben Johnson and that whole group of athletes were Marita Payne, France Garou, back in them days when that whole group of people were running. That's when she was running. And yeah, to date, her record still stands as the fastest sprinter in Canada. So condolences to her family, and may she rest in peace. We're going to do a little bit of Olympics roundup. There's quite a lot going on there. So we're going to start with, if you're just joining, say hi, say hello. Don't be a stranger. We don't bite. If you have a comment regarding anything that you've heard, feel free to make a comment. We can discuss it or, agree to disagree. So Olympics roundup, there's a lot going. Oh, hi, Erica. How are you? Thanks for checking in. There's a lot going in Olympics. So we're going to start with Andre Degrassi, who won bronze in the 100-meter and gold in the 200-meter races. So congrats to him. Simone Biles, she had some issues. She had taken herself out of competition due to mental health. She did go back into competition, and she won a bronze medal on the I think she did beam work. So she won a bronze medal for that. And on top of that, her aunt died as well during that whole time. So she not only had to deal with her mental illness, deal with the twisties, which kept her from participating in the Olympics. She also had to deal with her aunt's death as well as the media. So girlfriend had a lot going on. So, and she still had the presence of mind to go out to compete and win a medal. Okay. So apparently equestrian jumpers aren't keen on surprises, and neither of the horses. So I'm not quite sure if a lot of you watch what they call dressage, where they have the horses, and it's dressage, and I forgot what the other one is, where they have the horses prancing around and doing jumps over obstacles and stuff like that. So one of the obstacle, they have like a fake sumo wrestling guy as one of the statue at one of those obstacles, and apparently it's spooking the horses. So the riders are not happy because they're saying that when you come around the corner and getting ready to jump, all you see is this big guy's ass, and it's spooking the horses because the horses are thinking that it's a real person. And yeah, so they've asked the Olympics, they've asked the Olympics individuals, the powers that be at the Olympics, to remove the life-size sumo wrestler that's positioned on obstacle 10. Yeah, that's quite interesting. A lot of the riders are saying that the horses are pulling up short, they're not jumping, and that's costing them penalty points. And that will also cost them a medal because, they get penalized for the horses not jumping. Yeah. But I thought that was quite interesting. So, and of course, we have to big up the Jamaicans. So Jamaica was 1, 2, 3 in the women's 100-meter run, with Elaine Thompson-Herah winning the race, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price coming second, and Sharika Jackson coming third. And then in the 200, Elaine won that again. So she's this back-to-back sprint queen because she won in 2016 double, and now she won now again double. Shelley finished fourth in that race, and Sharika didn't make the finals because she said she made a mistake, miscalculated when to pick up her speed, to press harder to run the back 100. So she didn't make that race. And then also Jamaica placed first and third in the men's 110-meter hurdles. They've qualified for the 4x100-meter relays, both men's and women. I think those are coming up. If not later tonight, it'll be in the morning. I'm not getting a lot of sleep because of the Olympics, because I'm up watching all kinds of different stuff. Thank God I don't get bags under my eyes, because, man, I'd have been walking around with some serious shopping bags under them eyes. Anyways, there was a subject that I touched on a couple of weeks ago with regards to the Olympics committee not wanting a couple African sprinters to run because these ladies produce too much testosterone. So the girl that came second in the 200-meter race behind Elaine, Christine Mboma, I think she's a 17 or 18-year-old. She was one of those ladies that the Olympics Federation told her that she couldn't run the 400-meter or the 800-meter. She could only run the 200-meter. This was said because, again, she produced too much testosterone in her body, and they're claiming that it gives her an advantage. Now, a couple of athletes are upset that she was allowed to run the 200-meter because she won the silver, and they're saying that, again, it gave her testosterone level, gave her an advantage. But I'm thinking, if it's giving her an advantage, Elaine beat her, she's supposed to faster than Elaine. She's supposed to faster than Elaine because of her testosterone level. She's supposed to be faster than Elaine, and yet that was not the case. So then the Olympics people have to go back. They're going to have to do more testing and come up with more rules, because this is just not right for them to be telling people that they can't race, and they want them to take it's not really medication, but they want them to take chemicals to reduce their testosterone level, because their testosterone level is higher than what's required scientifically to be in a woman. So I mean, I understand, if you give her advantage, why Elaine is able to beat her. That don't make sense. So Olympics people have to go come back with something again to say, hey, this is what's happening. Because and it's funny because it's only affected, I think, about 4 African runners. It only affected 4 African runners. Yet there is a transgendered weightlifter who got permission to participate in the Olympics. So the transgender athlete could compete as a woman. They didn't seem to think that the fact that she was born a man has the high level of male testosterone, because, they didn't seem to think it gives her an advantage, because I guess because she's transitioning and taking estrogen and stuff, it was okay. But natural women with natural stuff in their body, they're fighting against that girl. Are those people. Not right. Not right at all. So we'll see how that goes. What did, let's see. Erica says, hello, Miss McIntosh. Sherry says, no one compares to Fast Elaine. That's true. But still, we don't want to, blighten the people them future because them can't run certain race and win them money and make a better life for themselves. So I don't understand. But we're going into my WTF moment of the week. And there's actually two. One was sent to me. Thanks, Colleen. And one I found on my own. And it was quite interesting. So in Ontario, yes, Ontario, London, Ontario, as a matter of fact, a man ran over his neighbor with his car because the neighbor peed on his front lawn. London, Ontario police said the man was purposely hit by a car following an argument after the neighbor urinated on another's lawn on July 30. The police were called to the residence, and after a report that a man had been hit with a car, they found that the incident began with the man, again, urinating on his neighbor's lawn. So 38-year-old Sandia Horamani has been charged with dangerous operation causing bodily harm. Then suppose him did like the man kill him with him car. When you go to jail and you go to court, why you say, oh, people on my land, so me kill him? I didn't mean it. But I understand. Why if you use a car like you never can never people on your land? What the people are, I understand the disrespect of the neighbor peeing on the lawn. Yes, I understand that. But I like him do though. A pee. The earth absorb. I don't understand at all. But this other one is a Vaughan couple was fined $615 for feeding squirrels in their backyard. The ticket was issued after the couple received a warning to stop feeding the rodents. Apparently, there's a bylaw that states individuals found to be in contravention of the animal control bylaw face fines for intentionally feeding wildlife. Me never know this was a thing. I mean, me never feed a squirrel yet. Kind of me see them, me shoot them and tie, tell them say go on. But me never know say me could have, if you feed squirrels and chipmunks and birds and something, you can get fined. You can get fined $615. I didn't know that at all. I did not know that. Colleen says the pea and manure in it to fertilize the lawn. Basically water. The man he could have killed him. He could have killed him. Anyways, I'm going to go to Newfoundland for a bit. And apparently there is a town called Dildo in Newfoundland. So imagine going to a different country and having to tell the people that, hey, I'm from Dildo, Nova Scotia. How you doing? Me would have want to change the name of that town. I'm from Dildo. How you doing? Hey, I'm from Dildo. How you doing? Hey, Dildo. Yeah, no. We're going to change that town's name. We go change that town's name. Yeah, not right. Not right at all. Anyways, we're coming back to Ontario, where a 30-year-old woman has been charged with impaired driving while driving with 5 kids in the car. On Friday at around 9:30 p.m., an officer pulled over a minivan that was seen driving erratically and speeding in Beaverton near Regional Road 23 and Highway 12. The driver, a 30-year-old woman from Osage Beach, was arrested and charged with operation of a vehicle while impaired with 5 children in the car. Police said she has since been released on an undertaking. Me not have no sympathy for drunk drivers. None whatsoever. If you are a drink to the point where you get drunk, me not have no sympathy for you. And then for you a drive with 5 picnic in the car. Suppose she did have an accident and kill a picnic, then what? She just said she's sorry. I don't have patience for drunk drivers. Colleen says, dildo girl, what's... I'm telling you, I am from Dildo. Dildo. We're from Dildo. You coming to visit Dildo? Oh man, if you're just joining, say hello. I see my cousin Sherman from Atlanta. I see Nadine I think Nadine, you're still in Chicago. Hope all is well over there and you're like in your new city. I know you moved there, about a year or so ago? So hope all is well. Yeah, so we're going to go to South Carolina for a bit. And a South Carolina man whose head was stomped last week by a police officer said he's thankful for body camera footage, and the second officer who immediately stepped up to say her colleague was not telling the truth. So on July 26th, Clarence Gaillard had been holding a stick wrapped in shiny tape, which he uses in case a dog tries to attack him when he's walking, when someone in Orangeburg called 911 and said he was carrying a gun. Oh, Lord. Orangeburg Police Safety Officer David Lance Dukes ordered Gaillard to the ground. The 58-year-old man moves slowly and often walks with a cane because of pins and rods in his leg from being hit by a vehicle while riding a bicycle. When Gaillard couldn't immediately lie flat on his stomach, Dukes stomped on his head and neck, causing his forehead to hit the concrete of the parking lot, according to body camera video. Every time I look in the mirror, I see the scar on my forehead, and it's not okay. The only thing I want the community to do is change. Dukes was fired 2 days after the incident and charged with felony first-degree assault and battery a few days after that. So apparently, Duke's partner was so pissed off at him that she decided to tell the truth. Not that she had an option, because body camera states that him stomped the man head on the concrete. So now Gaillard is suing the South Carolina Police Department. So I'm sure he's in for a little bit of change. Oh boy. 58-year-old man, because the man never lie down fast enough. You decide to you stomp him in the head and in the neck and all. I don't understand. It's like sometimes some white policeman see some black people and the adrenaline rushing at them, just them just can't help themselves and just decide to, and then just get out of control. I must that. Well, hope him get a little bit of money to soothe them sorrows. And let's hope that that police officer gets to go to jail. So we're circling back to Ontario, and this lady was actually sleeping. Her story is just scary. So I panicked, freaked out. Accused killer says he beat East York mom with crowbar but didn't rape her. So he broke into the 41-year-old's house, Rodera Estrada, with a crowbar 3 years ago. Broke into her house, him and his friend. And they'd been drinking and doing drugs. They broke into her house, apparently because there was no car in the driveway and the lights were off except for the basement window. They figured nobody was home, so they could steal some property. He said he used a crowbar he had picked up from the garage to break through a door and get inside in the living room. He found a laptop, 2 purses. Upstairs, he found an iPhone, which he took. And when he took that, he noticed that there was a child fast asleep in the top bunk. He then went into the master bedroom. He said he found a woman sleeping and another phone beside the bed. He testified that he took that phone as well. But then when he went to grab a jar of change that was on the bedside, he heard a voice says, "Oh no." That's when he panicked and freaked out and said that's when he picked up the crowbar and struck Estrada. You can't. The woman in her bed sleeping peacefully where she's supposed to be safe. And them breaking for rob and then just beat the woman, kill her. I don't understand. On the flip side, in Alberta, the RCMP is now investigating a case where there was a break-in at a rural home in Alberta on Monday night, and the robber ended up dead, and the homeowner is in the hospital, which is the way it's supposed to be. You break into somebody's house, gunshot meet you, and you're dead. So the homeowner heard noise, went to investigate, didn't like what he see, started firing. The burglar was shot and killed. I guess the burglar also fired off some shot as well because the homeowner was injured, but his thankfully his injuries are non-life-threatening, so he will be able to walk out of the hospital soon. So one less person around to break into somebody's house. So that's what will happen. You got broken into people's house. That's what's supposed to happen. That's stupid. So for the ladies that are here, I was reading a story, and Coco, which is Ice-T's wife, said that she still breastfeeds her 5-year-old daughter. It's not the daughter's main source of nutrition because the daughter does eat other food, but the daughter still likes to suck her breasts. So she still breastfeeds the daughter. Daughter is 5 years old. And I remember reading the other day, I think that mother breastfed her daughter. The daughter was at 4? She was still breastfeeding. So is that a thing? Would you breastfeed your child while they were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old? Like at what age? Not that there's a bad age to stop or any prescribed age to stop breastfeeding, but at what age do you think is a good age to say, okay, no more breastfeeding? Like for me, I guess when you reach 2, Freya can bite with teeth and bite dumpling. You're not supposed to breastfeed anymore. But drop some in the comments. Let me know what you think would be an age where you say, no, sir, you can't get no more breasts. You're done. Let me see what you guys are thinking. Nobody. Everybody thinks that age 5 is a good age for a child to be still breastfeeding. Nobody. Alrighty, I see people on, so I know people are on. Okay, so then we're gonna go to St. Anne, Jamaica. There's a taxi operator, 32-year-old Troy Brown, who succumbed to stab wounds allegedly inflicted by his 19-year-old girlfriend. So he's 32, she's 19. It is reported that on Saturday, July 31st, Brown and his girlfriend were traveling along the Buxton Main Road when a dispute developed between them. The woman allegedly used a knife to stab Brown in his back and buttocks. Brown was taken to hospital where he was admitted in serious condition. He later died early yesterday morning. His girlfriend was then arrested on suspicion of murder. But this is the second time, because last week there was a security guard, Orlando Webb, where his girlfriend shot him to death in St. Anne, and then this week the taxi driver girlfriend killed him. Not good. Let's see. Erica says age 2 to 3. Colleen says worst scenario from the moment the child can talk, no breast. Yeah, but some kids talk sooner than others, because some kids can think before them all 2-year-old. Colleen says 18 months the most. Me did start by, I think, by my daughter one and mash. Actually, nobody stopped before that. Because girl did have to do road and go earn her money. So we did stop before that. Because money needed to be made. So girlfriend had to start eating dumplings soon. So there's a couple more topics left. One very interesting one that's happening in Jamaica right now, where a 19-year-old young lady's making news that her locks was cut by a female officer in jail. They're saying that Erica said, my pitney didn't greedy, so real food had to come in, girl. I said Anna needed food, so you didn't have to jump on that fast. Anyways, I'm just looking for, there's that story, and apparently four Haitian fishermen who landed in Buff Bay on Tuesday were severely hydrated and appeared to be malnourished. Let's see. Yeah, so this 19-year-old girl stated that her locks was cut by the police officer in jail. So right now, there's been several interviews with her mother and the different media outlets in Jamaica. Indicom is probing claims because, she said that this happened at the Fort Pass police station in Clarendon. Nzinga King told the Gleaner that she has been left traumatized by the incident. King said the haircut by the policewoman resurrected memories of being gang raped when she was 16. The emotional wounds are deep and difficult to overcome, she said. I've been suffering from a recent trauma. I've been traumatized, and now this She's just bringing me back to some memories of being sexually abused, and now I'm being physically and mentally abused. Indicom said it views the allegation as expressed by King as a breach of rights as afforded to all Jamaicans under the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. Now, I watched the video that I think it was the Gleaner posted. And I think the mother did upset more than the girl. That's my opinion based on what me see. I think the mother did upset more than the girl, because it's like at one point when the daughter Nena say enough, then the mother poke her feet, try get her to say more and do more. So I don't know. There's different speculations going on. She's gotten a lawyer. So Indicom is going to be investigating the officers to see what happened, why her locks was cut. The lawyer that is representing Vibes Cartel, Isat Buchanan, he is now representing Nzinga King in this matter. Isat Buchanan is a Rastafarian, so there was another case with a little girl not being allowed to go to school because of her locks, and he represented her in that case as well. So he takes on a lot of the human rights cases in Jamaica. However, since this situation came out with this young lady, 3 persons have since come out and claimed that they're friends of Nzinga, and prior to everything being out in the news media, they had seen that her locks was gone, and they had asked her what happened to her locks, and she told them that she saw some white stuff in her hair. She thought it was fungus, so she cut her hair to protect it because she saw some she thought it was fungus. That's why she cut her hair. But I guess now she's saying it was a police officer that cut her hair. The 3 people that came forward, they're saying that she never did mention anything about the police officer cutting her hair. They were shocked to hear that that's what had happened. They were shocked to see her on TV and in the media stating that it's the police officer that had cut her hair. So should be interesting to see what happens after the Indicom investigation and to see where that goes. So should be quite interesting. So that's our stories for the night. I thank you all for joining me. I am now going to be joined for the fight. So if you want to be a part of the giveaway, drop a comment, say hello, say hi. That will get you in. I was supposed to give away something else this week, but I got caught up and I didn't manage to reach out to the couple people that I needed to reach out to get the 2 grocery vouchers to give away. So I definitely will do that over the next couple of days and have that ready for next week. So for this week, I'm just going to do the fight, and then that's that from that. So also, yeah, my daughter moved today, so I was busy with that as well. I am officially an empty nester, living on my own. I'm a grown adult. I am now living on my own. I am now living on my own. Anyway, me do me sarcasm. We always come in and we have a little chit chat at evening time and all of them something there. But yeah, she gone left me. Nah. Anyways, the fight is a green product. You can use it with your smoothie. I like it with my coconut water and lime. Apple juice, it's good in apple juice as well. It's not a detox, but it does give you green vegetables. So it has spirulina, it has kale and other green vegetables in it. So it's good. So drop a comment. If you haven't dropped a comment yet, drop a comment so that you can be entered into the giveaway and get a week's supply. So it's 7 packs. I'm giving a week's supply of the fight. And I am going to do the draw now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Erica, congratulations, madam. I'll send it off to you. I see you're doing your walk-in. So this will help you as well. Like I said, it doesn't detox, but it does give you, if you're not getting enough green vegetables in your body and stuff, this, so you can put it in your smoothie before, or whenever you're drinking your smoothie, you can put it in your smoothie and have a green smoothie. You can put it with your apple juice, or you put it with your coconut water with a little bit of lime. That's the way I do it. Some people put it with a little bit of water as well. So I will send it off to you, my darling. Congratulations. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. See you next Thursday, 9 p.m., same time, same place. Doing this all over again. I appreciate you all. Enjoy your week. Have a good week. Peace out.